everyone, and thank you for joining us. My name is Jamie, and I am with Movers Choice. Today, we are happy to have Aaron and Ryan here with us from Fleetmode to discuss their products. I would also like to let the audience know that there is a chat option available, and in the event that anyone has any questions, they can go ahead and type the question in, and it'll pop up, and we can try and answer them if time permits to the best of our ability. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and pass this over to Aaron with Fleetmode.
Thanks, Jamie, and thanks everyone out there for taking time out of your day to hear about a solution to help reduce distractions in your work vehicles. Fleetmode's a product that is going to reduce accidents in your fleet, thus helping you reduce claims and prevent any possible insurance increases and even potential lawsuits. So first, let's talk about how big of a problem distracted driving really is. Distracted driving is an epidemic that really just has no end in sight. When you drove into work today, did you see anyone looking down at their phones and maybe even swerving because of it? I know I did. Look to my left, I see the teenager Snapchatting away. Look to my right, I see grandma FaceTiming her grandchildren. I couldn't believe it. That was a new one, and I see this stuff every day, so scary to think what's next. So this is becoming an all too common problem. In fact, actually, as the younger generation is transitioning into the workforce, the amount of accidents is expected to rise because having a phone essentially attached to their hand growing up, it's a lot more difficult to separate them from their mobile device, even when they're driving. Did you know that when using a phone while driving, you're 88% more likely to be involved in a near collision? 87% more likely to drive 10 miles an hour or more over the speed limit? 91% more likely to drift out of your lane? And you're actually 83% more likely to even roll through a stop sign, all while you're wasting more gas while you're on your phone. On average, you'll see 8.4% less miles per gallon when you're doing anything on your phone, not just texting or calling. A couple of years ago, a survey was done showing that 61% of drivers admit to texting regularly while they're driving. That's just what they admit to. Imagine how many are actually doing it. It's scary to think about. Anytime a cell phone is involved in an accident, it greatly increases accident costs. These costs affect your bottom line and may even make you non-renewable. So what can we do about this? One big step is to minimize distractions while behind the wheel. Fleetmode allows you to do this with 3 simple components. First, let's talk about what Fleetmode is. Fleetmode is an app that can be downloaded on the driver's phone via an invitation from their manager or through a mobile device management platform. The second component is a Bluetooth hardware device called SmartDot. After a one-time pairing to the app on the phone, the SmartDot hardware simply sticks in the windshield. Finally, the Fleetmode portal is where managers can monitor compliance, customize their settings, set mobile device policies, view driver location, and much more. Now that we know what Fleetmode is, let's see more about how Fleetmode actually works. When the driver begins a drive, Fleetmode turns on automatically with navigation visible to the driver. Soon after the end of the drive, Fleetmode turns off automatically. The whole process allows for the driver never to have to interact with the application at all. There's nothing for them to ever do to manually turn on or off Fleetmode. The second component, did you know every time your phone dings, you get a little shot of dopamine? Your brain makes you crave the information on your phone. That's a powerful temptation that has to be avoided when anyone's driving a vehicle. So that's why during a drive, Fleetmode actually silences all alerts and notifications, allowing the driver not to be distracted from that email ding, that text notification, or any other app audible tones. There's also no keyboard available, so the driver can't type anything. At the end of the drive, any phone interaction that does occur is sent to the Fleetmode Manager portal, allowing managers to hold their team accountable. Let's talk about the features of the Fleetmode app, as it is a lot more than just locking down the phones. Fleetmode offers a variety of features and customization options to suit your needs. Here are a few examples. Phone calls are very distracting. They contribute to accidents, just like texts do, or any kind of distraction on the mobile device. So that's why Fleetmode blocks all incoming calls, routing them right to voicemail. However, we do know, you may have a need, just based on your business, for those phone calls to ring through. So we can allow for that and actually allow all calls to ring through. Or, if you prefer, we can allow only certain contacts to ring through to the driver while they're driving. This can be customized down to the fleet level, not just by company. Managers don't want to be bombarded with emails, texts, and notifications all day, informing them of their driver's bad behavior. Fleetmode has built-in self-coaching tools we call Virtual Safety Manager, which actually allows the driver to correct their behavior before their manager is notified, thus reducing the amount of alerts they receive and allow the manager to focus on other duties. Auto replies can be customized by the company, fleet, or driver. These messages inform the sender that the driver is driving, and will get back to them when it's safe for them to do so. If you don't provide your drivers company-provided phones, and the drivers use their own personal devices, Fleetmode can actually allow for privacy hours. When enabled, privacy hours ensures that Fleetmode only turns on when the driver is in a vehicle that contains the SmartDart hardware they previously paired to. So, when driving their personal vehicle or in any other form of transportation, Fleetmode would not turn on at all. As a reminder, Fleetmode allows for navigation to be available audibly and visibly to the driver with all other alerts and notifications silenced. 911 is always available while Fleetmode is active. So, what's the manager's role in the entire Fleetmode program? Look, we know your managers are busy, and that's why the Fleetmode Manager Portal allows the manager to have full visibility into the behaviors of their fleet, yet requires only minimal interaction by them. They can view customized reports, see drivers' real-time location, view their route history, and customize their alert notification settings all from within the portal. They can easily identify the top offenders of phone interaction by seeing a simple numeric score. They can also customize their allow list of contacts that ring through to a driver, if that's applicable for your team. Finally, sometimes a manager needs to reach some or all of their fleet with some kind of mass communication tool. Rather than texting them one by one, if they log into the portal, there's a tool that exists giving them the ability to text multiple drivers all at once. The drivers will, of course, only receive this message at the end of their drive when it's safe for them to do so, just like any other text. Now, let's talk about how a large company in the U.S. experienced a reduction in accidents when using Fleetmode. Fleetmode was piloted by AT&T, which happens to own the largest private fleet of vehicles in the United States. In AT&T's 10 million mile study, the drivers that were equipped with Fleetmode saw 31% less accidents than those that did not have Fleetmode installed. That powerful number, 31% less accidents, was just, it kind of blew their minds and just allowed them the easy decision to expand into all their vehicles. In fact, one of AT&T's safety directors was quoted as saying that Fleetmode was responsible for a significant change in behavior, and even mentioned that drivers were appreciative that their company cares enough to install a product like Fleetmode, allowing them to get home to their families safe every night. They also love the break from the nonstop communication from their bosses. In addition to this study, one of the largest plumbing companies in the U.S. wrapping up their pilot right now with Fleetmode, and they actually saw similar numbers of accident reduction in only a matter of weeks. Don't you think your company can benefit from less accidents? So, what do these reductions in accidents equate to in savings? Let's take a look at where the rubber meets the road. Getting your drivers home safe is probably the #1 priority of any organization, and reducing accidents by up to 31% can help do just that. The families of your team members deserve to have their loved ones return home safely each night, don't they? Additional features of the Fleetmode program add to its value. Seeing real-time driver location, route history, and proof of usage and monitoring of the product all add significant value to an already discounted product to Mover's Choice. Some of you may be in the market for a solution to know where your drivers are, or maybe where they have been. You can expect to spend $20, $30 a month per vehicle on something like this. Fleetmode can be a great supplement to any telematics solution, or a lower cost alternative to what you currently use for GPS or may be looking for. With Fleetmode, all these features are included. Fleetmode can actually help prevent insurance increases related to accidents. It'll also lower your risk of non-renewal, as Fleetmode is just a lot more than a simple piece of paper that a driver agrees to sign stating that they won't text and drive. It goes above and beyond any mobile device policy, ensuring extra protection for both the driver and for you, the company. Think of the positive public relations opportunity Fleetmode can provide. Taking a proactive stance on safety affects all of us out on the roads. Adding Fleetmode to your arsenal only enhances the public perception of your company. Everything comes down to cost, am I right? So let's talk about the value you'll receive with Fleetmode and what an ROI would look like for your company. So here's an example showcasing potential savings for a company with a fleet of 100 vehicles. In this example, we see that an average fleet sees about 15 to 20 accidents a year if they have 100 vehicles, so 15, 20%. When you factor in all the direct and indirect costs of an accident, the average accident in the U.S. costs a consumer roughly $40,000. The cost to commercial fleets are even higher, but for this example, we'll keep the number at $40,000. At a deeply discounted price for Mover's Choice, you would pay $6.99 per device per month, leading to a total cost to you of $8,388 for 1 year of service with Fleetmode. This cost includes everything, and we'll cover what everything means shortly. Go back to this company. They can potentially see a savings of over $177,000 when you factor in reduction in accidents of 31% and taking out the cost of Fleetmode. Imagine saving that much money in just your first year alone. This is just one of many reasons why you need Fleetmode installed in your vehicles. Look, we understand it's not easy for you to balance your risk and budget, and it's just a lot to think about. And so we try to make it as simple and affordable as possible. By purchasing Fleetmode, you are going to only pay $6.99 per device per month. Everything you need comes included, which it does include the hardware, which alone is a savings of $50 per device. There is no training cost associated. That's included. And any integration, if you have a mobile device management platform, that's included as well. And you also get access to extra features that other customers pay a lot more for, all included in that one price. Fleetmode pays for itself in no time. If you'd like to see a customized ROI calculator to see potential savings for your fleet, please contact us at the information provided here. Let's discuss how Fleetmode can help your company immediately.
Hey, thanks, Aaron. And thank you guys for sending the questions to us. I promised you guys that we would try not to take up too much of your time, so unfortunately, we're probably not going to get to all the questions. So we'll start with the ones that arrived first and just keep going into that order. So, all right, Aaron, first question that we've got here. One of the questions is, does Fleetmode work on phones when it's being run manually? Or does it need to, you mentioned it was automated.
I got you. So you never have to manually interact with Fleetmode by turning it on or off. Fleetmode is going to do that all on its own with the help of the smart dot. We'll turn on Fleetmode within a few seconds of the drive beginning. And at the end of the drive, Fleetmode will turn off in less than a minute, allowing full access to the phone at that time. No manual interaction ever required.
Okay, great. Does Fleetmode allow GPS to be used?
Absolutely. Should your company decide to allow for the visibility of navigation, we can certainly enable that for your team and allow them to see navigation and hear it as they drive.
All right. Next question here. You mentioned that Movers Choice gets access to premium features. What are you referencing?
We have a lot of features that can be add-ons that the other customers that we have pay extra for that you're going to get included at that price of $6.99. So one of the products we touched on earlier was the Virtual Safety Manager, which allows for basically the workload to be reduced greatly to your managers by responding to all alerts. So the Fleetmode program will actually prompt the driver to do tasks and certain things to review why their behavior is bad and correct those alerts, prevent them before they happen, get into the manager. This program is being expanded and can be customized depending on your team's needs, so it's rather endless. We also have speeding alerts available for you as well. So if a team member decides to speed, you're going to be notified about it. And another exciting feature that's about to be released that you will have access to included in that price, Fleetmode AI, Artificial Intelligence. This program is rather expansive, but to give you a brief summary of the initial thoughts of it, it will allow incoming text messages to be determined whether or not they are deemed important to be relayed to the driver, and that information will be relayed audibly. So if the driver needs to pull over and call their manager, Fleetmode AI will assist in that progress and notify the driver accordingly. So that's just a couple features off the top of my head. There's a lot more we can talk about one-on-one.
Okay, and finally, what kind of reporting does Fleetmode provide to customers?
Any interaction of the mobile device while driving is reported to the managers. So if they do something to try to disable the application or remove the hardware, or just somebody as simple as unlocking the phone, will be reported to the manager. And one of the cool features that you do have is, rather than being notified of every single time a driver does one of these events, you can just simply get an email summary at the end of the day for all of your team's activity just in one email, or once a week. Ideally, that email will be very minimal and soon to disappear altogether as your team knows not to touch their phone.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Aaron. Certainly appreciate that. And guys, if you continually have more questions, if you saw something here you'd like us to expand upon, we would love to answer those questions for you. Please reach out to your Movers Choice representative. They'll be able to connect with you guys and give you our information, as well as feel free to reach out directly to the provided information. So we would love to chat with you guys and give you more information about how Fleetmode is able to reduce accidents. So thank you guys very much, and we hope you guys have a wonderful day.